Okay. So today we are going to talk about a new content, and it is kind of tricky. So I hope that we can get it to be kind of easy to understand. I will post the answer key on, if you look at my screen, so the guided practice that we worked on last class, I'm going to post that. I have not checked it yet, so I don't want to post it yet. But also, I want to show you that if you go to your chapter 4A, I already added the answer keys for the other two that we worked on the other day. So just in case you want to review that and see what you need to work on, the answer keys are there. Okay. So today we have texto página 163. So if you can please open on your own 4A, texto página 163. So I'm going to say, abre página 263. ¿Tienes la página? Again, this is direct object pronoun. ¿Tienes la página? ¿La tienes? Olivia, ¿tienes la página?
It's in 4A, right? Did you transfer it from?
Oh, I didn't distribute it. I was pretty sure that I distributed. Give me 1 second. It might be that it's not synced. Yeah, I did not distribute it for the spirit. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it right now. And you might have it twice, but I'm going to distribute it for the rest of the class. I thought that I did it. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's going to be texto página 263. Do you see it now?
Syncing.
It's syncing, yeah. How about Sophia?
Yeah, I transferred mine over. Yeah, I have it.
And Colin?
I don't see it yet.
You want to transfer it?
Yeah.
If you go to Content Library 4A, it's called Texto Página 263.
Oh, I have it now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, or give it a minute to sync. Okay, so take a look at the content here. And this is something that it is going to be probably next semester or next school year. If you're taking level 3, one of the things I'm going to be reviewing and starting with maybe is this content. So the 2 ways of talking about the past that we have learned, which is, what do you think, Colin? The 2 ways that we have learned for talking about the past in Spanish.
The imperfect and the preterite?
Correct. The imperfect and the preterite. The preterite is the one that is the ED, right? So the one-time thing. So when you say, I draw or I walked, and this was yesterday, and I did it only one time. Versus the imperfect, that is something that was in the past, but something that you did it more than one time. So it was something that you used to do maybe in the past. You used to go every summer. So we have these words that are every or always or generally. When you use those words and you're in the past, chances are really high that you're going to have to use the imperfect because it's something that was going on. We are also going to learn that the imperfect is used in very specific conditions. So the first one is things that used to happen. So that was a habit in the past, more than one time. Second is time. Whenever you talk about time in the past, you are going to use the imperfect. So when you talk about the time of the day, let's say, and you're describing yesterday. So you're saying, yesterday it was 9 a.m. and I woke up. So that it was, we're going to use the verb ser, and we're going to use the imperfect of ser. So era. So ayer eran, because it's more than 1 hour. So, eran las 9. That's imperfect. Ayer eran las 9. That is the time. Also, when you're describing the weather in the past. So, for example, it was sunny. See? So, hace sol would be today. Hace sol. Today is not sunny, but just an example. Hace sol. If you were saying the weather from yesterday, you would use imperfect for hacer, which is hacía. Hacía sol. Hacía calor. Okay, so time, weather, and feelings or emotions. Describing what was happening with you in that time in the past. Okay. So let's go ahead and read here. So había and hubo are forms of haber. So there was and there were. Había is from haber. So hay muchos niños, that's the present tense. There are a lot of kids. But if it's in the perfect, you'd say había. And in the preterite, you say hubo, like the cucaracha song, see? Okay, so había is used to describe a situation that existed in the past, while hubo is used to say that an event took place, one event. So había situation in the past, hubo one event. So the first sentence, había mucho humo en el departamento. Humo means smoke, apartment. So there was a lot of smoke in the apartment. Hubo would be, in English, this is the tricky part. You would use the same there was. Terremoto means earthquake. Yesterday at 6 in the morning. So there was versus there was in English. In Spanish, the difference is that había is describing, this was happening, and hubo is one-time thing that happened, one event that happened. All right, so the preterite and imperfect tenses may both be used in a single sentence. This is when it gets tricky. So to tell what day or time it was. Remember, we talked about the time. So, eran las 5 de la mañana, and then you add cuando, when, and then you add one event that happened. It started to rain. Again, it was 5 o'clock in the morning when it started to rain. So, it was is imperfect, time in the past, and started is the one thing that started, one event in the past. Let's see here. Llovía, it was raining, yeah? It was raining. Llovía mucho cuando, when we went to the party, one event. So this is what was happening when we went outside. Last, to describe the physical, mental, emotional states. So, mucha gente quería. A lot of people wanted to help when this happened. It was destroyed. So, incendio means we're going to use the words like this. Incendio is a fire. Yeah. So, there was, sorry, a lot of people wanted to help when the fire destroyed the house. One time, it was destroyed one time, right? One event, only one time. All right, so I have a video with the, oh, so far, questions. I was talking too much, so tell me if there's something that is confusing. One thing that you can think that you didn't understand quite well. No? Okay. So let's watch the preterite versus the imperfect. Oh, hold on. I need to start. Hold on. Let me stop it. Let's stop it. Sorry. I forget that I need to change the sharing here. Share this guy. You can see now the video, right? Okay.
You're going deep into your memory. Remember, the imperfect tense can describe an event when something happened.
Yes, I remember. Estaba en la ducha cuando comenzó a llover.
So let's see what that is saying. The dog is so cute in this video. So, estaba en la ducha, referring to myself. Estar, to be, but it's on place, right? In the shower. So I was in the shower when comenzó, it started. A llover, to rain. So again, I was in the shower when it started to rain. So Colin, can you see the verb that is in imperfect?
Yeah.
Which one is it, you think?
Is it comienzo?
Comenzó is the preterite.
Oh, okay, so it's estaba.
Estaba, right? Estaba, imperfect. One thing that might help you remember the imperfect is the abaía. I say it that way because aba is the ending for AR, ia is the ending for IR and ER. So when you see aba or ia, that's imperfect. Yeah?
Okay.
And then the preterite has the accent. A lot of them have accents. And it is the ending of, so remember the yo is yo, o. So the endings for the preterite are different than aba and ia. Okay, so Sophia, do you see the imperfect there?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Is it, wait, okay, so
Abaía. Abaía is the endings for the imperfect.
estaba.
Estaba is the imperfect. Olivia, do you see the preterite?
Yeah, comenzó.
Comenzó. So this sentence shows you that something was happening. I was in the shower when one event happened, which is that it started to rain. Okay, let's continue here.
You can use the imperfect tense to talk about other things. It's very handy. We'll cover 3 of them: the time, the weather, and feelings.
Remember we discussed this? We're going to talk about the imperfect in the past. When you talk about the time, the weather, or feelings in the past, you are going to be using the imperfect. So what's the ending for the imperfect again?
Abaía.
Abaía. See? Abaía. That's imperfect.
Time.
Eran las 8 cuando vi la explosión.
So that means, who can tell me? Explosión means explosion. So who can translate that? Anybody?
It was 8 when the explosion happened.
Right. When I saw the V.
Oh, when I saw.
Do you see my cursor or no?
No, but
No.
I know what the word is that you're
Right. So
talking
V,
about.
it's not highlighted, right? But that is the preterite. I saw. So it was 8 when I saw the explosion. So Colin, which one is the preterite in this sentence?
Eran.
Eran is the imperfect.
Wait, which one is the preterite?
Which one is the preterite? Preterite.
I don't know. V?
V is the preterite.
Uh,
V. So I saw. And then eran is the imperfect. And what happens is that ser is one of the irregulars in the imperfect. And so it's talking about the time in the past. We're going to use the imperfect. Eran las 8 cuando vi la explosión.
Eran las 6 cuando llegó mi esposo.
Sophia, can you translate that one?
It was 6 a clock
When
when it
esposo is
started to wait, what's Diego?
llegó from llegar, so arrive.
Okay, my husband arrived.
Yes. Olivia, do you see it imperfect?
Yeah, the imperfect is around.
Eran, right? Eran. Again, time in the past. Do you see the preterite, Sophia? It's not highlighted.
No. Diego.
Yes, llegó, arrived. So, time in the past, imperfect. It was 6. And then something happened. One thing happened. The husband arrived. And he arrived only one time. So we're going to use the preterite.
The weather.
Ayer llovía cuando fui al trabajo.
All right, let's see if we can translate that one. Llover, to rain. So, Olivia, you think you can translate?
Yeah. It was raining when I
Ir,
went
ir.
to work.
Went, yes, went. Good job. So, again, this is talking about weather in the past. So, llovía, Colin, llovía. Is that imperfect or the preterite?
That is
Imperfect. Había.
it's not that one. So it's the preterite.
So, ia, right? Ia, llovía. You hear that? Llovía, ia.
Mm-hmm.
So, aba and ia. Ia is the imperfect. Llovía is the imperfect.
So it's not.
It is
Oh,
imperfect.
no, it is imperfect.
This one is imperfect. How do we know? Look at the ending. So, ia, right? I-A with that accent. Ia is imperfect. Also, when
Okay.
you have aba, like estaba, that's imperfect.
Okay.
Okay,
Does the imperfect always come before the preterite?
not necessarily. I could switch it. I could say, when I went to work yesterday, it was raining. So I could say, cuando fui al trabajo ayer, llovía. The order in this, it doesn't really matter in Spanish. Also in English, right? You could say, yesterday was raining when I went to work, and when I went to work, yesterday it was raining, right? Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Hacía frío en la Antártica.
So hacía, right? Weather. Hace frío, hace calor. But this is the preterite or the imperfect? Colin, what do you think?
It does have the ia, so they're so similar. Imperfect.
Do you think they're similar? Because, so for example, in the preterite, we don't have an A in any of the endings. Yeah? So it would be I, so E, o, yo, imos, but we don't have an A.
No, sorry, I meant the sound similar to me, like the name of like imperfect and preterite, like
Now I get it. Now I get it.
not the endings.
I get it. Okay. So then what you need to try and figure out is imperfect. So it starts with an I, E,
Mhm.
imperfect versus the P, past, preterite. So
Okay.
imperfect is also the past, but it's the second way we learned, right? So imperfect and preterite. Imperfect, ia, aba, preterite, the other end.
Okay, so this is imperfect.
This is imperfect. Good job. Excellent. So, Sophia, what is it saying?
It is frío and it's cold. Oh my god, I said frío. In Antarctica.
Yes. And is this in the past or in the present?
It is in the past. So it was cold and then.
It
okay.
was cold. There you go. Bien.
Feelings.
La niña tenía miedo.
So tenía miedo is one of the expressions in which we don't used to have scare. In English, we say it was scared. She was scared. The girl was scared. Sophia, do you see the verb that is highlighted? Is that the imperfect or the preterite?
That is the imperfect.
It is the imperfect because it's talking about feelings in the past, the feelings that the girl had in the past.
Estaba cansado, pero quería ayudar a la niña.
Oh, this one. Let's see. Any words that you don't know the meaning?
What does cansado mean?
Cansado, tired. What is ayudar? To help. So what do you think it's saying? Gordon, do you think you can translate? It doesn't matter if you can't. We're just learning here.
What's estaba again?
So to be in the imperfect. So I or he was.
Was, okay. Mm,
And it's talking about the dog, and he's saying, I
Yeah.
was.
I'm not sure.
Okay, no worries. Sophia, do you think you can translate?
Can you remind me what cansado was again?
Yes, tired.
Tired. I was tired, but here, yeah, what's that one?
Quería, so to want, querer, quería. So I was tired, but I wanted.
I wanted
Ayudar, to help.
I wanted to help the girl.
Yes. This one is tricky because it has the same verb tense. It doesn't have imperfect and preterite. What is the tense that you see here?
Well,
It's abaía. You have estaba and you have quería.
imperfect.
Yes, it's the imperfect in both cases. I was tired, but I wanted to help the girl. Why? Because it's talking about feelings and emotions and wants.
3, 2, 1. And you're awake and feeling better now. So that's our 3 other uses for the imperfect tense. The time, the weather, and a whole bunch of feelings. I'm getting another feeling. I feel like a quiz is coming up.
Complete the following sentences. Use the imperfect tense.
Ser. Las 3 de la mañana.
What's the word missing? Olivia, do you know?
It would be era.
Era, and it's 3, so more than one.
Oh, eran.
Eran las 3 de la mañana. What is the meaning? What do you think, Colin?
The meaning?
Eran las 3 de la mañana.
It is 3 in the morning.
Is this talking about the past or the present?
The present?
The past. We're talking about the past.
Yes.
Yeah? Imperfect and preterite. That's the content today, and it's talking about the past all the time.
Oh,
So,
I thought, okay.
yeah. So instead of saying it is 3, what do you need to say?
It was.
It was 3 in the morning. Yes, thank you.
Eran las 3 de la mañana. Hacer. Frío cuando ocurrió el incendio.
Which one is the word missing there? Hacer in the imperfect. Sofía.
Hacía.
Hacía frío, talking about the weather, when the fire happened. Ocurrir, to occur or to happen.
Hacía frío cuando ocurrió el incendio. Estar. La bombera no. Asustada.
What do you think, Sofia? Sorry. And la bombera is the, oh, there you go, estaba. La bombera is the firewoman. ¿Sí? La bombera no estaba asustada. She was not scared.
La bombera no estaba asustada.
Right. Okay, so let's practice this thing. I'm going to change my share to this guy again. So now if you have your own page, let's do this together. And we are probably not going to have time. What time is it? Yeah, we're not going to have time to do all of it. So whatever is left, probably I'm going to have 4, 5, and 6 as homework due next class, okay? So let's do 1, 2, and 3. But before doing that, I need you to see that we have number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have the time on each of them. Each of them has time. And then what I added is the weather or the event. So the first one is talking about the rain. This number 2 means the flood. See how the drawing is a flood. Then this one is the fire. Number 4, earthquake. Number 5 is an explosion. And number 6 is a tsunami. Yeah? So let's look at the model. The model is saying it has A and B. So estudiante A, estudiante B. ¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó la tormenta de nieve? This means, what time was it when the snowstorm started? And the answer is, eran las 4 de la tarde cuando comenzó. And here we have 4 p.m. and this is the snowstorm. Eran las 4 de la tarde cuando comenzó. So translation, it was 4 p.m. when it started. So take a look at the yellow and at the blue. And I'm gonna show the yellow. I'm gonna highlight the yellow here. This is the yellow. And this is the blue. So Olivia, what do you think the tense for the yellow is?
That's the imperfect.
That is the imperfect. Sophia, what do you think the blue is in the verb tense?
It's a preterite.
That's a preterite. So it has weather and time, right? So time, we're gonna use imperfect. And then the event, I'm gonna switch colors here. The event is when it started. So we're talking about time of the event, one event. So again, when you talk about one event in the past, are you going to use imperfect or preterite? Olivia, what do you think?
Well, for an event, you're going to use preterite.
In the past, one event in the past. So is it preterite or imperfect?
Preterite.
Preterite, one time, one thing. And then when you talk about time, Colin, when you talk about time in the past, are you going to use the imperfect or the preterite?
The imperfect?
The imperfect. Good job. So I think I'm going to write here. Preterite. And I'm going to say one time event. And this is in the situation of this activity, okay? There's other applications also. Okay, so in the yellow, I'm going to say imperfect is in this case, I'm talking about this activity, time in the past. And I guess I should say one-time event in the past. In the past time. Okay, so does that make sense what I just wrote there? Preterite, one-time event in the past. Imperfect, time in the past. Talking about time in the past. And like I said, this is just for this activity. Just for this activity, because there's more than one thing here. Okay, so let's do number one together. We have lluvia, right? The event is lluvia, and the time is 6 p.m. You are going to use the same verbs. You're going to use to be, ser, and you're going to be to start, comenzar. That's also something that I should write here. To be, ser, and to start. Comenzar. These are the two verbs that we're using. Okay, so A, your question. You have it here. ¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó la tormenta de nieve? So we start the same way. ¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó? When it started, but what started in this case? La lluvia. ¿Sí? Cuando comenzó la lluvia. So what's the meaning? What time was it when the rain started? That's the question. So your answer, let's see how it starts. Your answer is going to start the same way. You're going to start with it was and the time, and then when it started. So eran, it was. Eran. And what time was it? Olivia, what time was it?
It was 6.
Sí, so eran las 6. Let's use the words here. De la tarde. When it started. Cuando comenzó. All right. Let's do number 2 for A. Olivia, I'm going to give you number 2. Sophia, I'm going to give you number 3. And Colin, I'm going to give you number 4. So number 2 is the event is la inundación and the time is 4:30. Number 3, the event is the incendio. The time is 2:15. And number 4, the event is the earthquake, terremoto, and the time is 1 p.m. So each of you are working on your own, yes? So Olivia's working on number 2, Sophia number 3, Colin number 4. So tell me, either of you, if you are done, we can start with you. Anybody's done yet? Olivia, okay, tell me.
¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó la inundación?
Excelente. ¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó la inundación? And what's the answer?
Eran las 4:30 de la tarde cuando comenzó.
Bien, eran las 4 1:30 de la tarde cuando comenzó. Excelente. Olivia, can you highlight on the estudiante B? Let's highlight the, I don't remember which one I used. Okay, so the yellow one. Let's highlight the imperfect.
The imperfect is eran.
Yes, eran. And so then what's the verb that is in the preterite on estudiante B?
Comenzó.
Comenzó. All right. Who is ready now?
I am.
Sofia, go ahead.
Okay, so ¿qué hora era cuando comenzó el incendio?
Muy bien. ¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó el incendio? And what's the answer, estudiante B? Oh, hold on, I need the question mark. Yeah, estudiante B?
Okay, and then it is eran las 2:15 de la tarde cuando
Bien.
comenzó.
Excelente. 2:15, you can also say 2:15 de la tarde. So which one is the imperfect? We're gonna highlight either eran or comenzó. Which one is imperfect?
The imperfect is eran.
Yes, yellow. And so the other one, comenzó,
Comenzó is imperfect.
imperfect.
Not
So
imperfect,
let's do
but
the blue, yeah. Colin, are you ready? Are you ready for me, Colin?
Yep. Okay. ¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó la terremoto?
Excelente,
Right.
yes. Yep, that's correct. ¿Qué hora era cuando comenzó el terremoto, meaning earthquake? And what's the answer?
Eran las 1 de tarde cuando comenzó.
Yeah, and I'm going to say la una, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Actually, hold on. Sorry, this is one. So it's the only time that is in the single because it's only one. So era la una cuando comenzó. See?
Okay.
So tell me which one is the imperfect and which one is the preterite. Remember, preterite, past, one-time event, imperfect, also past, but it's ia, aba, and irregulars.
Imperfect is era, right?
Bien. Imperfect is era. I'm going to put it in the yellow. And comenzó is what?
The preterite.
Yes. All right. Muy bien. We are past our time. So 5 and 6, let's do it as homework. I'm going to write it here. I'm going to actually write it on the daily lesson plans. So for tonight, this was assigned on Monday. This is your homework due tonight by 9 p.m. Answer the questionnaire of that fable, right? La fábula, the story. We do have a quiz on Friday, which is those words. And then let me add. So answer is one of the homework. And then the next one is, I'm gonna add it here. Texto, página 263, is that right? 200, yes. Página 263, actividad 12, número 5 y 6. Yes? All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and really quick, tell me what's the homework due tonight?
5 and 6.
Answering the questionnaire. And what else? 5 and 6, right? 5 and 6? And then what do we have Friday, Colin?
A quiz.
A quiz, yeah? And it's, the words are on the daily lesson plans. Do you have any questions? Was it a little bit tricky? Imperfect and preterite.
Tricky when we started it, but like once we got like the hang of it, it was fine.
Awesome. Excelente. That's really good. So my suggestion is, this is the time in which you have to really learn very well to differentiate or make the difference between imperfect and preterite. By now, we really need to have that very clear. Like we have to have a hang of which one is imperfect, which one is the preterite. Because when we know that, then we're going to start thinking, when do we use each of those? The first thing, if you notice that you don't know exactly how to see which one is imperfect and the preterite, practice that, and then you practice when to use it. Okay? Right. So it was really nice that you were here. Thank you for being here. And I will see you next Wednesday. Continue your hard work and send me questions on the email if you have questions, okay?
Thank
Yeah?
you.
Good to see
Thank
you
you.
all. Adios. Gracias.
Bye.
Bye.